Gentleman from Florida is recognized.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank my colleagues for very kind words they've given about this great piece of legislation. I think it's important, this resolution. I think it's very, very important, Mr. Speaker, that we come together as a country and celebrate the contributions of other countries that they've played, the role that they played in assisting us not only with our independence but making it concrete. I also, Mr. Speaker, as we look at House Resolution 909, I want to give my sincere thanks to the Committee on Foreign Affairs of bringing this resolution to the floor, and especially shed light on Chairman Lantos for his forward lean and seeing this, making sure that this resolution make it through the process, and he'll be forever missed here in this body, and hopefully his memory will continue on, not only on the committee but here in Congress. I think it's also important that we pause to not only thank staff but also thank Haitians that throughout this country, Haitian Americans throughout this country that have fought very hard on behalf of this country, not only in Iraq, Afghanistan, and other theaters, but have contributed in many other areas. And that's where this bill came about. The Haitian American Historical Society in Miami, Florida, moved forth with a monument in Savannah of the Great Battle. And I had an opportunity to go there recently. And there were a number of Haitians and those that care about the well-being of Haiti that wanted to make sure that it was the contributions of these soldiers were recognized in a way that will be able to allow not only this generation but future generations to understand Haiti's contributions. When you start talking about 500 freed Haitian slaves traveling to Savannah, Georgia, to be a part of a multinational force to fight on behalf of this country against the Brits at that particular time, and to be in the same city where you had people who looked like me that were enslaved. And traveling to Savannah is a very moving experience for every American because so many battles have taken place there, and it's such a historical and beautiful city that you can't help but pause to think about the courage. So for us to be on the floor, Mr. Speaker, and members to not only talk but to pass hopefully this resolution will be the first time in the history of the Republic that we have actually said thank you to Haiti, that we've said thank you to the family of the 300 to 500 troops that actually traveled to Savannah to fight on our behalf. I don't believe it's too late, but I think that it's very appropriate for us to be here on the floor and allow the members to show their appreciation for their contributions. As we celebrate not only the contributions of these soldiers, but we also shed light with our members, and also with America, shed light with our members and Americans about the contributions that Haitians have made. I think as we look at this debate and we look at what we're doing for Haiti right now, we must bring Americans up to speed on the history. The fact that these slaves, freed slaves, came to Savannah and fought, and the fact that Haiti was one of the first countries to denounce slavery and to fight for their own independence, to fight Napoleon that pushed him to carry out the Louisiana Purchase with the United States of America. These Haitian fighters traveled throughout the Western Hemisphere and played a very strong role in allowing the United States to be who we are. So when we start talking about assistance for Haiti, it's not like it's a one-way street, it's a two-way street. And I'm proud to represent a constituency that you have more Haitians than anywhere else in the United States of America, but Haitians throughout the diaspora, this would be a very proud day for them, and I believe it will be a very proud day for them. We vote in affirmative. I think when we look at the contributions of Mr. Henry Christopher, who fought in the American Revolutionary War, to use his experience from the first free government in the Western Hemisphere. And when we look at what the Haitian American Historical Society has spent a number of years to be able to not only bring the Haitian history, Haitian American history to the Congress, but to also bring to everyday Americans, I think it's very, very important, Mr. Speaker, that members share with their constituency the contribution of these great men, and to be able to make sure that we share the history of all communities that have come to this country to make us strong. Once again, I want to thank the committee, and I want to also thank the staff that has worked very hard on it. I know that we have other members that want to speak. When coups have taken place in Haiti as of recent with the 82nd Airborne, when we look at those that are in the State Department that serve within the Foreign Service and the conditions that they have to work under, when we also look at the Peace Corps and other organizations like it, religious institutions, a number of NGOs that we call non-governmental organizations, and what they do and where they live in the rural parts of Haiti, providing not only education and food. When we look at their contributions and we look at the conditions that they have to work under now as Haiti struggles with natural disasters and struggles with hard economic times, this legislation will help enshrine not only the contributions of Haiti for the United States, Haitians towards the United States, but also Americans returning not only the favor but the goodwill back to the great country of Haiti. So with that, Mr. Speaker, I urge the members to vote in the affirmative on House Resolution 909, and I yield back the balance of my time. Thank you, sir.
Gentleman yields back. Gentleman from Arkansas.
Again, Mr. Speaker, I appreciate